Tēnā koutou katoa, welcome to this week's live. Fresh back from the gym, which is great progress after last week's failed attempt. So feeling like now back out to meetings in the city, the gym, the routine is back, feeling like kind of life is getting back to normal. Or is it 2 new cases this week? There is this uncertainty, not just with COVID-19, but with life at the moment, that has become a new normal. And it can be really difficult to deal with this uncertainty when we have a tendency to want to control everything, for things to turn out the way we plan and for things to be how we want them to be. And of course, there's so much of what's going on at the moment that we don't control. And for me, reflecting on this, and certainly my wedding that's coming up in October, that I was hoping my mum would walk me down the aisle at. My mum's UK based. That's not looking terribly likely at the moment. So there's a lot of things that we don't have control over that we would like to happen. And it reminds me of something I learned. I spent a lot of time studying Buddhism with nuns and monks in various countries across the globe back in the days where we could travel, and it's something that brings to mind a lesson they constantly taught me, and that was around acceptance. This piece of being able to accept what is happening when we can't change it. But having said that, there's also the empowering feeling we get from focusing on the things we can change. So we have to be able to accept what we can't change, like whether my UK relatives can get to my wedding, and focus on the things that we can. And that empowers us, but it also leads us to action around the things we can control as well. So we feel less like victims, we feel less helpless in that space. And that's something that I'm constantly coming back to, and no more so than of recent weeks where things have been so up and down and so uncertain for us. So I wanted to leave you with that thought. And it's something I often have as part of my Women in Leadership courses and a lot of the workshops that I run. Something I used Stephen Covey's model that you'll probably be familiar with. It's so well used, the circle of influence. And the circle of control. There's so much stuff that concerns us out in the world today, and a lot of that is not within our control. But when we start narrowing down all our concerns to the things we can control, the things within our influence, that's where we get the power. And the more we do that, the more we find our circle of influence and control will increase. So it's something I keep coming back to, particularly in times of uncertainty, when it can be so difficult to navigate and to want things to be different to what they are. And the art of overcoming that is, of course, acceptance, but easier said than done, something I've been working on for many years. And it's where mindset comes in. You know, all this, it's not about what is happening to us or what is happening in the world right now. It's about our reaction to it that impacts us, our happiness, our health, and the way we show up in the world. And so many things come back to mindsets, why it's one of my favorite topics. So looking after our mindset helps us cultivate this mind of acceptance. And it helps us also to be able to see the things we can change and take action on that. So looking after our mindset, whether that is going to the gym, getting outside, taking a walk in nature, meditation, yoga, whatever it is that works for you, looking after our minds is so important, because that's how we cultivate this resilience to bounce back from the tough times, but also this art of acceptance. So that's what I want to leave you with today, thought for the week. And other things that are happening that I want to tell you about. The In Her Words Summit, which I talked about last week, is getting ready to launch. We're only a couple of weeks away now, so that's really exciting. 20 Kiwi women, all ages, different backgrounds. There's athletes, there's CEOs, there's business leaders, there's young women who have started their own social enterprise businesses. There's all sorts of amazing women out there in Aotearoa doing amazing things that have shared their secrets of success with me, but also the great work that they're doing. And it was an awesome project for me to do over lockdown, because I got to connect with people via Zoom doing these interviews at a time when ordinarily I couldn't connect outside of my own bubble. So I'm sharing that with you in July. There'll be 1 interview per day. I will put the sign up link in this live, because it is free to sign up, and each of those interviews will be free to air for the whole day that they are released. But the package can be purchased so you can watch them all at your leisure, and the profits we get from that will be going to the aunties and the Wellington Homeless Women's Trust. In addition to that, this week I am getting ready to announce some free webinars. So over the next few months, I'll be doing, I think, 4 free webinars on different topics: leadership, imposter syndrome, resilience, mindset, some of the stuff that I've just talked about today. So I will also pop a link to the events page, because if you want to register, although it's free, you have to register to get the link. So if you would like to register and be on those free lunchtime webinars, check out the details on the events page. I'll pop the link in this live. Otherwise, hope your week has gone well. Have a fabulous weekend. Mati Awa.